Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever on the Gotthard Line map back in the Alps. I have started us today in a tactical location which I hope will bring you great joy over the coming 30 seconds or so as several vehicles that you may not have previously witnessed roll into shot. Now I'm fairly certain that 30 seconds is the amount of time we're going to have to wait here. I can't say that I've timed it before. I haven't got a stopwatch. I'm just going to, hopefully reach some crescendo of interest as an exciting thing rolls into view. Any time now. Should be any time. Pretty sure I knew the route it was going to take, but it does seem to be letting me down at the current time. That said, maybe I need to go find it and, get out and push or some such. There's two things that are going to happen at any point in the very near future that will make you go, oh, that's a charming opening for an episode there, Colonel. Yeah, you chose really quite wisely there. There we go, this will do. It's not the one I was expecting, but it'll do nicely. There we are, steam tram. Look at that, in a rather magnificent pale green. What more do you want? Oh, it sounds like the other one's coming now as well. Yeah, there it is. That's take your time, why don't you? You were supposed to turn up before I had to start filling. Yeah, so steam trams are now on the go. And there we go, there's the other thing. There it is. Yes, that's our little GWR tank engine there that I have given a very smart lick of red paint. Let's go and zoom in. I still think it's too shiny. I think it looks good, but it is a bit on the shiny side. Still a great whistle though. So there it goes. Yeah, and because it's a bit on the shiny side, you need to pull a little further away from it, I think, to get the best look and feel. Anyway, in the previous episode, we did a grand tour of the map because I was, very low on cash. And that comes as part and parcel of running the 4x mod at its slowest possible speed. You end up hanging around quite a bit making cash. Well, if we pull up the old Cashatron here, what we'll see is we've actually made an extra 1,000 there from our oil line last year. 942k in total in profit. That's pretty good going. What else do we buy? We bought 400 grand's worth of vehicles. Right, this is a very profitable network we've got going on here, and yeah, you have to hang around a bit to wait for that to happen, but it is profitable. In today's episode, yesterday's well, hold on a sec. Let's get my brain in order. In the last episode, we focused most effectively on new road vehicles, so we could get away from some of these stagecoaches, glorious though they may be. And into a slightly more mechanised era in order to speed people around the various towns. And we found a couple of towns that were joined up and we celebrated that. We lamented the fact that there wasn't enough fuel being shipped or food. It was one or the other. And in the comments it was pointed out that potentially my food was being hijacked by trucks that I'd earmarked to ship fuel. There we go. Yeah, see, this is the fuel that there is not quite enough to ship effectively. When you've got a depot here that's got 40 odd in it, it's just, and look at all of that lot. Oil galore going on there, and he's going to pick up a full load with his 70 without breaking a sweat. It's not ideal. Meanwhile, we believed that the food was being hijacked by trucks that were earmarked for fuel. I'm not buying that because we don't do a fuel drop-off here. So I wonder if I've misunderstood that particular suggestion. I'm going to say yes, that suggestion has been misunderstood and I need to go and reinterpret it. Anyway, today we are going to be chasing down profits. And the main way that we're going to chase down profits is I'm going to expand, or rather I'm going to double track one at least line and set a couple of locomotives down it instead of just the one that it's running now. Probably won't be this one, given that there's only 55 waiting at the depot. Okay, prove me wrong, why don't you? That there's only 61 waiting at that end, although there's another full load sat there already. But basically, take one of the lines that has capacity to become more profitable very quickly and bang another engine on it. That should fuel growth while at the same time making plenty of cash. Now, it does mean that I'll need to ramp my loan back up to max again, but that was always going to happen sooner or later anyway, right? So, we might as well make it sooner and start rocking in some money. So stay tuned, and I'll figure out where best to do that. Now then, if we were purely looking at areas of opportunity in terms of making more buck, you'd be hard pressed to find one that was as hard working as the food line here, the cattle line that's running in Brienne's. It constantly takes 70 to go and get turned into food, then drops that back off on the return leg. So it is making money in both directions. It means that I would need. It's an expensive train to set up, given the number of wagons involved in that process. But it is a very profitable line. And in fact, if we were to look at profitable lines now, that would probably be the smart thing to do. Let's bring you front and centre there, Chief. And where are we? THN Oil Operations. Is it really? Well, stone the crows. There's no two ways about that. That's the profit monger right there. Is the oil train. And I was mentioning very recently how a second one of those would probably be a good thing. Well, maybe we're going there then. Maybe we say stuff the food. The food's like 100 grand less. Right, we're going to go and do another on the oil train, which will probably help. Actually, I mean, it'll certainly increase the amount of fuel that we end up having waiting at the docks here, which will enable me in turn to expand on that dockside operation. Now, the question is, where should I double track it? And if I stuck 2 sections of double track in, I apologise, poor camera movement there. If I stuck 2 sections of double track in, there'd be 2 opportunities for trains to pass one another. Very good. Yes, I think we can all do that bit of maths. Let's do it here. I think this is a very clear sign that I'm committing to this plan. So be it. All right, here we go. Let's do this bit. Right. So I don't want to create. I do not want to double track the entire shebang at the current time. Just enough for passing places, but I'm hard pressed to know where the best location for those passing places is. Let's get some signals on here so that we route correctly. One about there, and another one somewhat down here, like this. Now, I could one-way those, which would make certain members of the commenting crowd delightfully happy, but we shouldn't need it at the present time. At least I hope not. I don't know. We might have to come back to that and put some release signals on there or something. But we'll see once we're actually rolling. The other place that would possibly be a passing location is going to be over here. So we'll do a bit of that. And this will then give us choices. And I want to duplicate the train. Well, pretty much duplicate the train I've got now. Or do I? Should I go for something that's incredibly similar, but not necessarily the same? Well, let's live a little and do something similar. What do you mean I'm out of money? I had 200 grand when I started this. I was placing some relatively inexpensive track. This should not be me out of cash. Come on, I only need another grand. Make it happen. There we go. It was the end of the month. That would always do it. End of the month, always likely to cause me financial woe. Right, we'll stick one on there and then one on here. And if the route doesn't get with the program immediately, I will make those one way only. That's the kind of reckoning that is likely. Right, let's pick the route up here and see what it's decided to do with itself. Perfect and spot on. Splendid. Right, that's exactly what we want to see. Now, what I should have done there is also look at exactly which train it is that I'm running on there at the moment. Oil operations. I think it's one that I'm maybe less familiar with. It's one that I'm less familiar with. Oh no. What's that? I don't know, but we're going to need to keep it there for reference purposes. Now, I've got a capacity, I've got 1.5 million loan available to me, and I don't think that's going to be enough. Given that we want to transport 72 oil in total, we're going to have to have a look. Locos, right? Where are we? Is it this one? How would I know? Oh, hold on. Age 3, top speed 31, power 400. It's not that one. Is it the Keb 2? No. Is it the Keb 4? No. Is it the Baldwin? No. Is it the KKSTB 21? No. All right, what the heck is it then? Something with 400 kilowatts of power. It's this one. Stone me, that's £1 million. Oof. That's not cheap. It's the, for those who can't quite make it out, it's the KKSTB 47. Yeah, far superior to the 46 in almost every way. Right, and it's got 10 wagons strapped on there as well, and the wagons go for 200 grand a throw. I think you can see where I'm going to come up with a problem here. If I've got 10 of those on there, that's 2 million quid's worth of wagons. No, I'm running these, aren't I? No, I'm not. I'm running these ones. So 2 million quid's worth of wagons and another 1 million quid's worth of train. So 3 million in total to get that running. Flipping heck. All right, well, this is a slightly more costly setup than I'd kind of given any credence to. Well, what are you going to do? You're just going to sit here now sulking because you can't do it. Well, let's have a quick look and see if I can borrow any more money. Now I've got 2 million available in total. I could run a shorter version for the time being, but it's not going to make me good money, is it? Is it? Yeah, the smart thing to do here would be to go do a passenger line. You've done the setup on this one, you can come back to it. Right, okay, I'm going to go do a passenger line. There we are, that's the plan that I had all along. What are we looking at? Biasca Bellinzona, 290k. That's not bad. Locarno Burn is doing 257, but this is the line I have been told I'm not allowed to replace. Yeah. I'll probably set up a dedicated something or other for it at some point. A siding for the old train. It's not this one. That's not the original one. Where's the original one? The original one's somewhere else. Is it Belloc? Where's that? It's not Bellinzona Locarno. It's not that one. It's not this one. It's not that one. Which one is it then? Because it's going to be making money. It's not going to be making very much money, but it's definitely going to be making money. I'm going to have to go and find it by eye. Well, apologies for this change in direction here, where I thought I had everything thought out, but evidently not. No, I was certain Bern was my first passenger stop. It is. Yeah, this is what I did first. Stop talking nonsense, man. This is the one we need to change. And it should be double tracked at some point because I've got two trains on there. It is. Look, there it is. It's just running something that's flipping ancient. Locarno Burn, ladies and gentlemen, is the track that is making good cash there. Right, okay, and we're not doing that one yet until I've got some kind of plan B vis-a-vis what we do with the ancient loco that we're not allowed to change. Because, you know, I do as I'm told. Right, it's going to be exactly where we started out then, isn't it? It's going to be Biasca Bellinzona, which is currently running the little tank engine. Fine. And no, there's not really many passengers waiting for it, though. That's the thing. It's because it's a good length. That's why it's making cash. Do we think that by running a second one, demand will pick up? I don't know. The alternative would be Bellinzona to Locarno, where there is definitely enough demand at that end. Actually, this end looks pretty promising as well. Oh, hold on. What have we got going on here? You're waiting to get into the station. See, Bellinzona and Locarno, actually not quite enough demand going on there just yet. And if I'm honest, I'd quite like to switch up the station we've got there anyway. I need to stop talking so much and faffing around the map, and we need to get something built. Otherwise, we're not going to make any money. I do have 2 million quid. I could start an entirely fresh line. I'm going to start an entirely fresh line. Might take a little bit longer to get going. I might change my mind again in a minute, but, you know, that's the kind of, you know, edge of your seat excitement I'm pretty sure you've all come to expect. Right, Ennet Bergen. The station's not particularly helpful, but can I get to, what is that? Beckenried. Now, the route itself should be fairly flat. Contour lines, activate. Because, you know, if we follow the coast all the way along, or we stay within one of these contoury sections, we should be good there. So, I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to come out of here, hang a fairly aggressive turn around there, get into this one, I reckon, follow that round until we land over here, which is a good place for a station anyway. Now, Beckenried's not exactly big, so there's not going to be massive amounts of traffic from there, but I think that'll do the job. And I've got cash. I've got cash to do this. I'm going to have to be gentle about it. We better leave that on. Otherwise the contour police will come for us again. Right, let's get rid of that, because that's where I'm bringing track right through there. Now, once I can start thinking about double tracking all over the place, or multi-tracking, because I'd quite like to run a significant portion of this network as multi-track to multi-route, because I think that will be quite glorious to look at. Yeah, okay, well, that's straight-ish, I suppose. Why are you carving a gouge out of the land? I'd really rather you didn't, but never mind. What was I talking about? Yeah, multi-tracking between very heavily built-up cities, and certainly from the look of the cities that have started merging right now, this is going to create for some tremendous commuter routes later on, where we'll be able to run multiple trains out, you know, some slower, some faster, in order to shuffle people around. It certainly doesn't look like cash is going to be much of a problem once we get through this. I mean, we're still kind of early stage. Once we get towards the mid stages of the game, I think cash is going to be rolling in to facilitate all manner of nonsense, and I'm all about all manner of nonsense. This road's going to put up a fight when I try and reconnect it. Just calling that now. Did I accidentally bulldoze a house there? Given that it cost me 151 grand, I think I probably did. Oops. Oh well, some things don't change. Right, let's go there. Let's kill that. Yeah. Slightly less flamboyant on the chat. Slightly more paying attention to the build at hand would have been beneficial there. Right, what are you talking? 160. I can afford that. Let's bang it all the way down there. 155. Bargain. There we are. Smash that in there. Everybody's happy. Going to want a commuter route. Obviously, we commuter route, therefore we are, I think. Do I want to get it building on the other side of the track? No, not yet. I'll add the second side of the station a little later on, because it's decidedly plausible that I will add a second platform on here. It'd be quite nice to swing via Altdorf and Ørsted. Is that Ørsted? Erstfeld, beg your pardon. So yeah, I think a second line on there is very likely. But hey, this looks all right. Okay, good. Now let's get some road over there. What are you up to? 70 grand left for the moment, plus the $1.5 million I've got in my slush fund bank account. Right, and then we will stick a signal, for that is a thing that we need, So we only need a signal going in, so we'll stick one right there. I don't care if it blocks the road, and we'll stick one here as well. But already, if I'm going to start running multiple services in and out of the same station, I'm going to start having to think about adding extra track all over the place. So that's that's an expense that's coming up just for kind of hygiene purposes, really. But it should lend itself towards making the whole thing a little bit more profitable, keeping things moving a bit faster. Now, can I get a bus station in here without it being staggeringly expensive? Depends on your definition of staggeringly. 24 grand, that's cheap, I'll take it. And then on the cliff side here, well, it's not even a cliff, it's just kind of a moderate hill. Let's pull that around like that. And I know it's a bit expensive for a bit of road, but I want the loop, and I still want to leave enough space there for willing citizens to move in and make a home for themselves. Right, now then, what sort of catchment have you got going on there, Sunshine? A pretty good one, if I'm honest. So we could stick another one just on the corner here and run a quick lap round there. Don't need to do anything cleverer than that right now. Do need a bit more cash. It's the end of the month again. And then once I've had a look at the cash situation at the end of the month, oh, let's just up the tempo. Give me the money. Come on, it's only 27 grand. That's almost anything arriving will yield me 27 grand. There we go. Where are we? Let's put it on that side. All right, thank you. Slow it back down again. All right, and then we go from hither to hither. See, and it's doing a nice little loopy thingamajiggle. So right, this is going to be Beck and Reed, George. Beck. No, B-E-C. Do we want B-E-C or do we want B-E-K? I think we'll go B-E-C, George, to indicate its commuting status. Now then, depot. Do I have one that is closer than 2,500 miles away? Those are metric miles, by the way. No, I don't. So we're going to need to build a depot close-ish. I'm all about building close-ish depots. Where are we? You're trying to snap the depot onto the rail. That's not going to work, is it? No. Put it over here. Right. Pay the money. Buy a couple of fellas. We'll go with land hours. I'm still not over the land hour. 1, 2. I'll go with 3, which is too many. Beck, George. There we are. But that's future proofage. That's for when demand. Oh, hold on. I hope the last one got out. I was perhaps a little quick on the draw with the bulldozer there, but there we go. That seems to be okay. And then we need to buy a train. I like buying trains. We're going to go with something else. So it's something new and novel that I have not yet witnessed in this series. I don't know if you're excited, but I certainly am. It's going to be on a slope, so it's going to be expensive. I haven't got any flat track here. Oh, hold everything. Yeah, no, I have. I could build it on the other end of that station. That would do the job. I think it was relatively flat out here as well. Okay, it's on a minor slope. I'm sure it'll be cheap. 20k. Okay, fair enough. Right, we need a train. Right, what do we like the looks of? So we'll go with something fairly modern. I'm not too bothered about how modern it is. The last thing we've had added is this. Your guess is as good as mine as to how to pronounce that. My interpretation of Cyrillic is not what it once was. And it once was rubbish. These days it's terrible. 31 miles an hour, that one will do. Meanwhile, we've got the PLM. 37. Whew, feel the wind in your hair. 1.9 million. Doesn't leave me a lot of change. We haven't had a Mogul yet, and that's proper quick. Right, we're all about the Mogul. Primarily widely used in the US. Well, I knew that. I knew it was American. Where are we? Coming up on the end of the month, so I'm going to pause. Let's borrow everything and buy me a Mogul. Thank you very much. And we'll debut it. And then you're going to want some kind of... it's going to be the clerestory, I believe. It is. And they're 500,000 each. Flipping heck. Well, I can afford one carriage. Blimey. All right. Well, that's ridiculously expensive. But so be it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a better deal somewhere else. And the fine folks at home will be up in arms if I were to put, I don't know, Russian coaches on a Mogul. That would make people very unhappy. So if anything, this is a good thing because it will allow us to get the line moving before reasons. Oh, goodness me, that's expensive. Back to wherever this is. This has got a name. This has got a name, and it is Ennitzbergen, which is E-double-N. Can't rule out that I also called it E-N-T, but never mind. Right, okay, well, let's go witness this incredibly expensive train leaving the depot, because, you know, that's a tradition that we all do together now, and we're all very excited about it. And in no way am I putting a massive amount of expectation on this thing earning me a shed load of cash. No, I want 2 shed loads. And it's got a very small driver. I know everything's bigger in America anyway, but this is ridiculous. I mean, look at him. He can barely see over the steering wheel. And how's that going to pan out? If, you know, Jenny Agata's standing in the middle of the rail, flapping her underwear around in that way that she is wont to do, he's barely going to make her out. That's a reference you'll either get or you won't. But it's a good one. I'll tell you that for nothing. That's a premium gag, that one. Right, let's follow this along. Since we're waiting for a bit more cash, I need to make £500,000 from somewhere, and I think that's doable. But it needs to be doable pretty soon, because right now this Toy Town train is not going to fulfil the purpose for which it was deployed, which is a little bit of a shame. Right, let's see how we're doing for the year. We're down 1.4 million expected, running costs of 2.2, and we've paid for 1.6 in vehicles, so that's us up 200 grand. And then another 700,000 in construction. So overall, there you go. See, do the maths. We're up 900 grand. Obviously, that doesn't mean a thing if I can't make this train start earning me some bucks. Actually, we're ruining what is a flipping tremendous view here. Now, you can imagine this later in the game, where both these towns have started to grow a little bit, and plenty of people have moved in, and you've got a couple of skyscrapers in there, and trains rocketing around all over the place, and ships clogging up a very beautiful lakeside area, and you can go, that's gonna look quite impressive. Anyway, you've got that to look forward to. Thank you very much for watching today. I'm gonna roll this forward. I'm not gonna just continue giving you a picture postcard narration of this lakeside view while we wait to earn £500,000. You can just hang around and catch that in the next episode. So throw a like at this one to demonstrate your ongoing support for all things Transport Fever, and subscribe if you haven't done so already so you don't miss the next episode. I have been Colonel Failure. You have been very dear to be watching this episode. I will catch you in the very near future. Cheerio.